Here's how I made 40% on Google. What you're looking at here is the daily chart of Google. That red line is the alert that I set last night, prepping for this trade today. If you are not preparing to trade, then you are preparing to fail. We have to be ready for these moves. We have to find the levels, and then we have to see how price action reacts off of those levels. If you take a look at the screen, we gapped down on Google. So I wasn't looking for a retest of that level necessarily. If it gave it to me, great. But if not, what I was looking for on the intraday chart was a break and retest of the pre-market low. That level is lower than the level you're looking at now at 289.24. So if I go to the intraday chart, we can see that previous day low level at 289.24. And we never came back up and retested it. So what I'm looking for is a break and retest of pre-market low. Since we already gapped below my level, I know that the pre-market low is the next level of support that I want price action to reject. I'm looking for a break and retest. If you take a look at this big red candle to start the day off, the first 10 minutes, we broke pre-market low. This was extremely weak. And then we came back up and we started to retest pre-market low. What I actually did was I waited for a couple more candles. I just wanted to see that this was going to break down. SPY and QQQ were also not very weak, and that's what I look for when I'm looking for puts. I want the entire market to also be going down. So at this moment, it wasn't, so I waited. And I actually ended up entering on this candle here. We were below the 9 EMA, also below the pre-market low, and I really love that we had 1, 2, 3 rejections of this level. Now, if you look, the next candle, we actually broke above my level, and that is not good. However, I stayed patient and just wanted to wait for the candle to close. I like to wait for the candle to close so I have some confirmation that this is actually not working. Then this red candle happened, and I thought, okay, great, this is actually going to work out in my favor. Then the next candle happened, a bullish engulfing. Completely negated my thesis, and I knew this trade was over. I cut it immediately right there. Way too big of a green candle. We broke back above pre-market low. It wasn't in the cards for today. So I accepted the loss. It was about a 10% loss. But then I stayed patient, and I was scrolling through my watch list, looking for some other stocks to alert. And I noticed that Google was coming back down. We ended up coming back down to pre-market low, retesting pre-market low, and since I do not full port my account in every trade, I had cash set aside on the sideline with me, ready and available to re-enter if this opportunity came, and it did. So I re-entered here on this retest of the 9 EMA and pre-market low, and I rode this all the way down to 40% profit. I am also a teacher, so I can't be watching the charts 24/7. I'm just looking for a piece of the big move. It is impossible to tell whether the top is here and the bottom is here and to catch that absolute top and the absolute bottom. I just want a piece of this big move. I do love catching those 100% gains, which this one did in fact end up hitting over 130% without me, but I was very happy with taking my 40%. I want to get my piece of this pie here, and I did exactly that. My rules do tell me to wait until we break back above this 9 EMA, which was maybe around here. I probably would have cut if I could watch the charts the rest of the day, but I simply couldn't. I know I can set a stop loss and I can set a hard limit sell to take profit when we get to a certain level. However, I really find a peace of mind walking away from the charts knowing that I'm out of the trade. Whether it's red or green, if I follow my rules, I feel very comfortable walking away from the charts and accepting what happened that day. And that's exactly what I did today. The big lesson here is not blowing up your account. Do not throw in every cent that you have into one trade. I know you probably hit maybe a huge trade one day, 150% profit, and you're laying in bed that night and you're thinking, man, I made 150% on this trade. Imagine if I just put everything I owned into this trade next time. I could be a billionaire. I've been there. I've been laying in bed thinking the same thing, standing in the shower thinking the same thing. Oh boy, I'm going to get rich and I'm going to get rich quick. Do not full port. Do not put your whole account into a trade. The probability of these trades happening is not 100%. You need to understand that these trades can fail. You need to follow your rules and stop out when it says stop out. If you have more capital on the side, that allows you to re-enter if it comes back down. Maybe it just had to test another EMA or another level, and you were just a little too early. Your thesis is correct. You're just too early, and you can't have that opportunity to re-enter if you full port. If you just take your whole account and you're just dumping it in everything, you're going to lose everything. And you also are done for the day once you full port. You don't have any more buying power, so you're all done. Compound the profits, and your account will grow. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You're learning probability. You're learning patterns. You need to give it time. Stack the wins. No one is out here full porting every single day and profitable. If they are, just give them time and their account will be sitting at zero once again. We've all been there, but it's the ones that learn from those lessons and move on from the full porting and switch their thinking to understanding that this is a slow grind, just stacking the wins and compounding this profit. If you're stuck in full porting, you are never going to grow to be a profitable trader. So make the change and let's get profitable.